This is the Husqvarna 410iQ Automower Robotic Mower. And if you're like me, tired of spending weekend after weekend pushing or riding a lawnmower around your yard, this robotic mower might catch your eye. As someone who's tried both traditional mowers and other robotic models, I've gotten pretty hands-on with what it can do. In this video, I want to share my experience, from unboxing and using it, to figuring out what's good, what's not, and whether I think it's worth it for the typical homeowner looking for less hassle with lawn care. Let's kick things off with the way it looks and feels, because first impressions actually matter a lot when you're dealing with something that's not cheap and meant to sit out in your yard. The Husqvarna 410iQ is definitely on the larger side compared to some older or smaller models I've seen. When I lifted it out of the box, it was pretty substantial, about 59 pounds, so it's not like a little remote control car you can just toss around. That said, the handle placement on the back was actually really practical for lifting, and the weight felt well distributed. The design is modern, clean, and gray, made of sturdy plastic and aluminum that don't feel flimsy at all. There's a sense of durability, and with the rugged bumper and big wheels, it looks like it means business even before you turn it on. I had a few doubts initially about how it would deal with rough transitions in my yard, but the big wheels really make a difference. My first interaction with the Automower really started with unboxing, which was a bit more involved than I'd expected. I'm used to plug-and-go gadgets, but smart landscaping devices work differently. The box itself is huge, and if you're not into lifting, I'd probably call a buddy to help get it near where you plan to set it up. Inside, I found not just the mower but also the charging station, a separate RS1 EPOS Reference Station, a stack of user manuals, extra blades, mounting hardware, and some power cables. There are plenty of different boxes labeled inside, so it pays to unpack everything methodically and not lose track. It all feels premium and pretty well organized. But if you're brand new to this, it can feel a little overwhelming on first glance. Talking about features, the big draw for the 410iQ Automower is this thing called EPOS. Basically, it uses satellite technology in combination with the reference station to set up virtual boundaries for your yard. For anyone who hasn't dealt with this before, think of it as an invisible fence created using GPS, so you don't need to bury any perimeter wires in your lawn. You just walk the mower around your desired mowing area using the app, sort of like tracing with your finger. The app then remembers that zone, and the Automower keeps itself within those invisible lines as it cuts. I can't stress enough how much easier this is compared to the old wire-based systems that require you to dig around your whole yard. My only hesitation at the start was about the accuracy, but honestly, the boundaries were tight and the cut was super even, right up to edges and corners. Setting up the EPOS station took some patience. Finding a good spot was a tiny bit frustrating because the signal varies depending on what's around it. Trees, sheds, your house, whatever can mess a bit with reception. I had to try a couple of spots before signal strength was where it needed to be, but once it worked, it stayed solid. The virtual mapping feature is spot on for me, making it possible to set up stay-out zones for flower beds and certain landscaping features I don't want chewed up. Using the mower day-to-day has honestly been pretty relaxing. I can adjust the cutting height in the app from as low as 1 inch to up to 4 inches, so I'm able to fine-tune it depending on whether I want a golf course look or just regular home grass. The mower moves fairly quietly, which was surprising. Sometimes I let it run during dinner, and no one in my family was bothered, even the neighbors. The battery seems to last long enough for my almost half-acre yard, and when it needs more juice, it brings itself to the charging base before heading out again. I found that I basically forgot about mowing after a while because everything, from scheduling to pattern, can be controlled and checked through the Husqvarna Connect app. The app was way more capable than I expected. You can set the mow days, set up new zones, even check if someone tries to take off with your mower, since it has anti-theft and GPS tracking built in. What honestly stood out for me the most was the reliability and thoroughness. The mower actually handles those little tricky spots by the driveway and along sloped parts of the yard without digging holes or getting stuck, which my older robot mower constantly messed up. That said, it's built for yards up to about 0.5 acres. If you've got a massive lawn, you might need a bigger model, but for most homes, this is right on target. The feel of quality is present in everything, from the way the cover fits to the durability of the blades and even the finish of the plastic. It just seems like something that's going to last season after season. The biggest thing I liked, though, is absolutely the wire-free installation and the precision with which it mows. Not having to dig wires saved me a whole day at least, and it means if I ever want to redesign the garden or move a flower bed, updating the boundaries is as easy as pulling out my phone. For anyone who's dreading setup, I can say that following the instructions and using the app got me through it, even if I had initial doubts about dealing with the EPOS Reference Station. Plus, being able to customize everything, from how short the grass is to the exact schedule, really made this feel like it was tailored for me, not just some generic automated tool. But there are a few things that I didn't love. The setup for the reference station isn't totally foolproof, and for someone new to smart yard equipment, there are a lot of cables, manuals, and pieces to keep track of. If you're hoping for a pure plug-and-play experience, there's definitely more to do here. I also ran into some frustration getting the reference station placed just right, too close to certain walls or large trees, and the signal would drop. It's worth mentioning that this isn't a universal fit for every property. If you've got more than half an acre or lots of separate mowing areas spread far from each other, you might run up against the mower's limitations. The price is also nothing to sneeze at, but for what it does, I feel the value is there if robotic mowing is a priority for you. In my opinion, the Husqvarna 410iQ is perfect for folks who have a moderate-sized yard, want to save time, and are ready to try something smarter for lawn care. If you're unsure about the tech, Husqvarna supplies plenty of guides, and the customer support is actually responsive. From my experience with the 410iQ, it replaced not just the manual labor but took away the mental load of scheduling and remembering to cut the grass each week. The convenience of adjusting everything from cut height to schedule with my phone was way more satisfying than I expected. In conclusion, if you've been thinking about easing up your lawn care routine with something truly user-friendly, the Husqvarna 410iQ Automower Robotic Mower deserves real consideration. The combination of wire-free installation, reliable mowing, smart features, and solid support made it a great addition to my yard. While setup isn't zero effort, it's manageable, and the benefits of the EPOS and app integration definitely outweigh the hassle for me. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants to spend less time on lawn work and more time actually enjoying their backyard. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the Husqvarna 410iQ Automower Robotic Mower. Thank you for watching.